Welcome to the Sold Too Early Sports Card Podcast. It's accurate with our sports card predictions as Daniel Jones. Pain. That's Kai. I'm destined to watch the Giants. And we have two guests today, Liam, Legally Autographs, and Josh, JS Sports Cards. Gentlemen, how the hell are you doing? Liam, you seem to be stuck in an episode of Hoarders, just so you know.
Yeah, it's all stuff from college, so we're making it work.
That's that. Listen, we've been making it work for quite a while here in the sports card scene and everything else. Kai, Josh, what about you guys? How you doing?
Well, I just want to know what Liam uses the medium flat rate boxes for in college.
We were roasting Liam appropriately before this episode. And
you wouldn't believe what you can do with a medium flat rate box.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen some crazy things in college. It's been a few years for me, so fair enough. But listen, let's just jump right into it. I think we all had an interesting Dallas card show experience. Kai, you had the misfortune of setting up with me. Liam and Josh, you had the misfortune of being around me quite a lot.
And then we took over your tables for you.
You did. Thank you for doing that on Sunday. It makes me look better because I left on Saturday night. I hope you guys had a decent Sunday. The show was fine. I think that's a fair way to describe it. I can't be the only one who is a dealer who is fully and completely burnt out by traveling to card shows. It has been a very active summer. I did everything this summer I basically could, except for July 4th Dallas, because I got married. That's more important. Sorry.
Loser.
I'm so tired of card shows. So I think it was fine, but I'm curious to see Kai, Liam, Josh. What do you guys think?
I mean, I thought it was pretty what I thought it would be. Did pretty well, bought and sold. And I mean, I didn't really have that high of expectations for it. I thought it would be kind of what Dave always says, like a B+, A- show, but I don't know what you guys thought.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of people that were complaining about it and thought it was a terrible show, but like we did fine. Everything I heard from y'all was that it was fine. It felt a little slower and like less energetic, which makes a ton of sense with, as Dave was saying, like the burnout that everyone's going through from all these shows back to back to back to back. But I thought it was a typical Dallas, to be honest.
Yeah, we did well walking around. Foot traffic definitely seemed low. I remember the days of the Dallas card show where you had to look over people's shoulders, just like the National. Had no problem getting the cases. It seemed like some dealers were definitely willing to work. But yeah.
Do you guys want to quickly hit on your new power couple status?
Yeah, well, Liam and I are just gone into business together, which has been pretty fun. So, I mean, we've been doing cards like side by side, I guess, for the last, I don't know, I've been collecting since I was like 3 years old, but I learned that cards had like money when I went to the National when it was in Cleveland in 2018, because of Liam, which was fun. And so we sort of done it side by side since then. And then Liam had talked about for the last like year or so, like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I was like doing cards with friends? And I was like, yeah, that'd be fun. And so right before the National, Liam brought it back up, and I was like, okay, but are you serious, or is this just like a fun idea? And he was like, no, let's do it for real. So we sort of linked up, and now we're in business together, which is cool.
Yeah, working with a friend always makes it better. Doing anything business-wise alone can be pretty boring and just can burn you out a little bit. So having another partner to work with, and we both have strengths, and we play off each other really well, and it's gone well so far.
I'm excited to hear that for you guys. Very cool. I apologize, my audio and video is a little messed up. I'm not sure what's happening right now. We'll kind of make it work. If it ends up being usable, well, shit. That's
yeah, whose Wi-Fi is shitty now?
I don't, dude. I usually have impeccable Wi-Fi. I'm not sure what's happening.
Are you guys seeing him like freeze too?
Yeah. All the time.
God damn. I'm just gonna do everyone a favor and turn my camera off. Then there. Now you don't have to look at me. Listen, I have a face made for radio. It's perfectly fine, and now I can cry in peace about the Giants.
Can you make your picture Daniel Jones?
I don't want to. How about you make your background nicer?
It's kind of funny seeing the S just bounce up and down.
William, I can punch down and I will
You
punch
happy,
down.
David?
Ooh, Liam just got a luxury apartment.
Oh,
Yeah.
upgrade.
Listen, I've been looking for houses here in New Jersey. Liam's at least in a $500,000 house right there, maybe even $600,000. So
Oh no, that piano
glow
looks
up,
pretty expensive.
the glow up is pretty impressive, Liam. I'm really happy for you.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, listen, this has been a true grind over the summer. I know there's another show going on this weekend that people are considering going to. There's two of them actually, Culture Collision and Minnesota. I asked a lot of people this weekend, or this past weekend, I should say, if they're going to either. Dude, the amount of people going to Atlanta right now is like 4 to 5 out of probably 50 plus I asked over the weekend. Can't say a lot of people asked about Minnesota as well, but hey, it is going to be a rough weekend for shows if you're attending, and it's gonna be even more rough if you're actually a dealer who's been traveling a bunch lately.
Yeah. I just feel like it's been too much.
It has been, dude. It's like, Kai, this is your first show since the National, so like, how are you feeling post Dallas?
I feel fine. I just don't want to go there.
Fair. Liam and Josh, how many shows have you done? Have you guys done since the National?
Just Dallas. So I'm in the
I
same
did.
boat as Kai.
Yeah, I did Dallas and Shipshewana.
Where's that?
It's in Indiana. It's in Amish country. It's a really, really good show put on by B Sports. But it's also only a 1-day show, so it's definitely less of a strain than a show like Dallas. But
Yeah.
you know, we have a couple shows coming up, but we definitely don't go to 4 shows a month.
No, dude, I'm really going to take a step back now. I mean, obviously the show cycle is basically winding down anyway, because after Atlanta, after Minnesota, I don't even know if the next major card show outside of November Dallas, which is Halloween weekend, which is pretty brutal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then Chicago, which is the weekend before Thanksgiving. And also Dallas is once again competing with another show, a show Kai will be at, a show a lot of people will be at, apologies, which is Orlando Fanatics Fest. Gun to my head right now, guys, I truly think that Orlando will be better than Dallas in November, and I'm actually starting to get a little worried about that as a dealer.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I
you're
think
100% going to Dallas still, Dave?
I am. So the reason why I'm going to Dallas is because I own a table there. It's in my name. I have commitments to that show. I want Orlando to be good. I'm actually going to be talking to EJ about Orlando Fanatics Fest tomorrow, so at the time this episode has already launched. I'm going to help them spitball ideas. I truly just want a better show experience for everyone. So if I can help make any show 1% better with like one idea people have not considered, I will always offer my services, because even if I'm not physically there, I want this shit to get better. I think there's a lot of growth in the sports card world, especially in the show world. And with a marketing background, listen, I come to the table with a lot of interesting ideas that might not work, but if I give you 10 of them and 8 of them are good, you know what? I would take that.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
we've
gonna-
definitely.
Oh, I was gonna say, I will say that I haven't really signed up to be like have a booth at many shows before, but I will say the sign up process for Orlando Fanatics is pretty in depth, which I think a lot more shows should do. Like, you have to provide like personal references. You have to say you're committed to like buy, sell, and trade. You're not just there to like show off cards. You have to send photos of like previous like setups and showcases you've had. Like, it's not just like bullshit where anyone can get a table. Like,
That's
it's a
really good.
process.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
Dude,
know.
way more shows.
I'm pretty sure the person who did that with Burbank is doing it for Fanatics now, if I remember correctly.
Yes, EJ is running the dealer relations at Fanatics.
Which is really nice because, obviously it shows you're going to have dealers that are better than others. But I'm also not a fan of dealers who are only there to buy and don't even have showcases out, because you're there as a vendor. You're not there as a buyer. If you're a buyer, walk around. Personally, in my opinion, vending, you need to have cards on your table.
Liam, what if I put $100,000 in cash though, but it's all fake cash?
It's all
Is that
one.
okay?
Yeah, it's
You
that's
can put
just my
used top
opinion.
loaders.
Yeah,
I could I could put top loaders in there too. Yes,
You have to
they're
make sure
all
they're
filled with
yellow.
money.
And we're talking about if we want to do Dallas or Orlando or split up. Um, I'm personally leaning more towards Orlando. I've heard that it's supposed to be more of a card focused show as opposed to the New York one, which was an experience based show, which I also think could be, very interesting.
I think you're absolutely right. What I've heard, and I'll confirm this after this podcast based on what I talked to EJ about it. If Fanatics Fest New York was 70% experience, 30% card show, this one in Orlando in November is going to be the opposite: 70% card show, 30% experiences. It's going to be more of, now this is just what I've heard, of course, so don't take it as fact. More like local teams, no league affiliation, no MLB, NFL, WWE, whatever else. It'll be more of like local athletes, local experiences tailored to an Orlando market, and then obviously a larger card show. And from what you said, Kai, when you had mentioned this, the booth cost was very cheap.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I asked EJ. I haven't heard back yet, but there's nothing about like showcase costs. But it's $350 for a booth for the entire weekend, which isn't bad.
Now, qualify that for me. A booth meaning multiple tables, Kai, or just one table?
No, it's one 8-foot table, so it's compared to the New York, which was what, 3,500 for 3 tables or something, right?
It was 3 tables for $3,000, and that included 6 showcases.
So it's a third of the price.
Yeah. So
In theory.
I assume your showcases there, if you don't get them directly from that 350, which would not make any sense, would be $50. So that's about $550 for the show to be there. So it's actually more like,
It would be 500.
well, if it's $350 for the show for the table, and it's an 8-foot table, Kai, you can get 4 showcases there, not 3.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Vertically, yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize.
So then your cost would be about $550, and it's actually more like a fifth of the cost.
Well, Dave,
So
you might get 2 showcases then.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. So Kai and I are having conversations about possibly me doing Dallas Thursday and Friday, flying to Orlando Saturday, Sunday.
I
Now,
thought about that as well.
that sounds fucking brutal, and I'm not really interested in doing that per se. But I think the hardcore flippers and grinders and everything like that are going to do that, where they're going to be in Dallas on Thursday night, because Thursday night is always crazy in Dallas. Thursday in Dallas is probably the second best day of the show in general, if not the best day. And then Friday be there and fly out Friday night, be in Orlando for Saturday morning and night, and then fly out from Orlando like at the end of the show on Sunday, and possibly even take off work on Monday. It's just like there's a commitment to that where it makes sense to me,
Yeah.
but I just don't know if I physically want to do it. It just sounds so brutal.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
The flight in the middle of the show wouldn't be great, but being able to hit both spots would be pretty sweet. It would just be interesting with like how many other people are doing the same, because I could imagine easily seeing most of the repack buyers or people like that doing that for sure.
Oh, dude, it is going to happen. Like
Yeah.
Liam and Josh, I would honestly give you the feedback of you should divide and conquer, because then your guys are both saving yourself money and time. Because I think if Liam goes to Dallas and Josh is in Orlando, you're going to have access to dealers and people who are going to be there invertedly. So like if a dealer's only going to be there on Thursday and Friday in Orlando, well, hey, Josh can get that guy, and Liam can worry about the people set up on Thursday in Dallas.
Exactly.
And I think you both could do well as a result.
Yeah, and my thing with choosing Orlando over Dallas is, obviously we were there, and they have local dealers. So if you go to Orlando, you'll have the traveling dealers, but you'll also have local dealers, which you hadn't seen yet. I've never been to a card show in Florida in general, so it's a whole new group of dealers.
Yeah, you're right. My web browser just crashed. This is cool. Can you guys still hear me and see me?
Yeah, you're still
we
pulsing.
hear you.
Well, we can't see you.
You're like an M&M.
That's fair. I don't know what
That's
happened
a
there.
Skittle.
Weird. All right, I'm back. That was super strange. I guess that conversation kind of fucked up my browser. All right, cool.
Sorry, it worked.
Yeah, weird. Don't know what happened. Not gonna question it. Yeah, I think you guys are right. There's a lot of local dealers, regional dealers who will be in those areas. on Thursday, Friday, Saturday that you might not even have met before who could have quality stuff. And you know what? Frankly, dude, it's just worth it to kind of, if you have two people who are working together who are interested in always splitting cards, going into business together, it kind of really helps each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially since those local dealers can make such a difference. Like, I would say without a doubt, our best deal, or maybe even our like two of our best deals of the weekend, were both from guys that are definitely not like, they don't travel to shows. They just are in Dallas or local. They drove up for the weekend, were there a couple days, had some really cool stuff that we were able to grab. And
good.
So, I mean, being able to hit both those in Texas and Florida would be pretty big. So that might be what we end up doing.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing either. Like, I currently don't need 3 showcases in Dallas, and depending on if one of you guys comes to the show, I can give you guys a spot to set up, quote unquote, and then we can figure out something there. So it kind of benefits all of us because I frankly don't need three showcases at the moment. I like having a friend with me who's set up because it just makes my life easier. And it gives us the opportunity to continue to buy at a pretty good area. Like, you guys actually were there for the one main walk-up I had, which was the Carlos Alcaraz Topps Chrome tennis. I was going to say soccer. Shout out Kai. Topps Chrome tennis orange refractor. And he was a former dealer. And I was into the card about $3,900, which was the same cost as the true gold sale. I gave it to Alt for auction after it got graded by Beckett. It came back a 9, which is super nice for that product. And they think it's worth about $6,000. And you know what? It's going to run at auction soon. And that deal alone will cover all my expenses for Dallas.
Right, from one walk-up.
Yep, just a random walk-up. Like, you on the front wall of Dallas, for people who have not been there, there are significant banners. There are people who are set up like True Polls. Andrew's a great guy. The Only Slabs, Jason, is super friendly and nice. I like him a lot. He's very professional. But they're huge ass banners. Even Cards HQ is there. Partly, they were not really there for most of the show, but whatever. You almost need a banner per se on that front wall. I'm considering making one for next year. I don't really feel like doing it just now, but like I'm thinking about it. But you kind of need a banner to stand out. And like,
I mean, there were like 20 to 40 people that have buying banners just in the front half of the showcase or of the room.
For the record, I am going to make fun of Dave if he gets a banner.
I'm thinking about it, Kai. I definitely deserve to be made fun of if I do it. It's more of just like, it's so funny to me, people who don't look up or like don't process that and look up. Because you definitely have people saying, like, are you buying? And you could have a gigantic ass banner behind you saying that you are. I don't know. I think this was a pretty solid show. I would definitely say it was the worst out of National, Burbank, Fanatics Fest. Probably another show in there that I'm just blanking on, but it's been a very long summer. But it was still successful. I mean, like, monetarily, it was good. Definitely made a lot of deals, turn over a bunch of stuff. Hell, I sold Liam and Josh, what, $5,000 worth of stuff? If not more. So, like, I would always prefer to sell cards to my friends anyway, and it just so happened that there were several items that you guys wanted that I know you'll make money on too. And you know what? If I make money and you make money and everything keeps going and we're all happy, like, I'm perfectly okay with that.
I can't do this too much, dude. It's so funny watching Liam's virtual background move with his beard when he turns his head. So good.
Liam's flipping cards like a pro now. You see where he's living? Come on, he's got the mini grand piano in the background. He's living large.
But it'll be interesting
with his Josh Rosen investments.
Fuck you.
What about the Mason Rudolphs?
Oh my god! So, not for nothing, Mason Rudolph is going to be the starter soon. I guarantee it. I hope, because it would make Lane and I a good amount of money.
Where is he?
Mason Rudolph is the backup to Will Levis.
Okay.
So, for anyone who is not, this has been a running joke for quite a while. In the springtime, give or take April, May, whatever it was, there was a lot of Mason Rudolph cards on Facebook. The guy was asking $2,000 for about 140 Mason Rudolph RPAs, some collegiate, a lot more, NFL, and some pretty good brands. NC, Limited, Immaculate, stuff like that. Super cool. I looked at it and said, LOL, that's super funny. Lane, LJK Cards, who's one of our best friends, who's been on this podcast multiple times. Lane's a fantastic person. He was like, hey, dumbass, go buy it. It's like, okay, I guess I will. And we ended up splitting it. And ever since then, we've obviously been playfully shilling Mason Rudolph to our audience base because I think it's hilarious. But then we'll have a shit the bed week 1. And you know what? Even his head coach came out and said, if we had punted every first down or every fourth down or whatever he said, we would have won the game or had more of a chance to win. So Mason Rudolph might be starting sooner than we think.
Yeah, I had the same experience with a player, Chuma Okiki. At my LCS, I bought it's like 10 NT Tour RPAs, like 50 jersey numbered cards, bunch of 101s. It's like they sell eventually, and he just signed with the Knicks, and I got like
It's just a bad buy, Liam.
no, I bought it at like 30%.
He's never going to play basketball again.
Probably not, but he signed with the Knicks.
Did he actually say this?
He literally did. The head coach, Brian Callahan, literally came out and said, if we just punted on 1st and 10 every time, we might have won the game.
That's crazy.
So, pretty bad thing to say about your quarterback.
That's brutal, especially week 1 on a young guy. That's a brutal thing to say.
Dude, it is an absolute backbreaker. I mean, Will Levis definitely deserved it. Like, his pick 6 was one of the most horrendous pick 6 I've ever seen in my entire life. His reaction to it, he's just laying on the floor, just screaming like,
He's
why?
on his knees.
He was on his knees screaming like, why? Yeah.
It's also just funny because Caleb Williams had like 90 passing yards and they won.
Oh my God, he
Yeah.
was so bad. Basically all of the rookie quarterbacks were bad. I think
Honestly, like every quarterback was pretty bad outside of like 3 or 4. I feel like
that's fair.
Yeah, I mean,
Dak had a good game.
It was like Dak, Josh Allen, Lamar was decent.
Mahomes was pretty good.
Kyler had a decent game, even though they lost.
Yeah, but like even he only had like 140 yards and like 1 touchdown. Like it wasn't that
Yeah,
great.
his first half was good, but then he did like absolutely nothing in the second half.
Yeah, it was. Excuse me. It was a rough week around the NFL for all offenses.
I don't remember it being this slow like in the last 5 years. Week 1 though.
So I was actually watching something. Sorry, go for it, Josh.
No, I was just gonna agree with Kai. So go ahead.
There was something, I don't know where I saw it on Reddit or YouTube Shorts or whatever. Because of the quantity of players who are skipping the preseason, the amount of rust that's actually starting to be apparent, like in these first couple weeks of the year, continues to be more evident. And I think there's been a downward trend every year for the last couple of years since either COVID or right after COVID of touchdowns scored in week 1. As you know, preseason matters for certain things, but like how much do you really care about teams being healthy versus like being ready per se on week 1 or week 2 even? So
Yeah,
I think I saw that tweet. I'm pretty sure it was 33 touchdowns this week, and like a couple of years ago it was like 60 something, like 50, high 50s.
Yeah. So
yeah, like we
Doesn't
definitely
shock
experienced the rust as Browns fans with how Watson performed. You know, you see Mahomes and Kelsey playing in the preseason, like you see the best of the best. Like they obviously think they need it. Why isn't another player doing it? If it's injury, I understand, but like you need to get some real game action before playing meaningful games.
yeah, I mean Brady towards the end stopped playing in the preseason, but he was also like just so old and experienced that
That dude
didn't
knows
matter.
exactly what he's doing. Deshaun's been knocking off the rust for 3 years. Like,
I was thinking about it the other day, and the Falcons obviously didn't win and everything. But I was just like, God, if we had done that Deshaun Watson deal, I would be even so much more upset. Like,
yeah, you're
3
welcome.
first-round
I mean,
picks.
we're about 6 weeks away from it officially being both the worst trade and the worst contract in NFL history.
You know what's crazy about that is you guys have been like still like solid after trading 3 first-round picks.
3 firsts and giving up $50 million.
Like, that's kind of crazy. You guys are still decent.
Yeah, I saw something. It was like the most Browns thing ever. Baker Mayfield being better than Deshaun Watson after that trade.
Dude, he has the 3rd most touchdowns in the NFL since he became the starter for the Bucs.
Yeah,
That's
wild. I never wanted to. I've hated the trade since the beginning, and I really wanted to keep Baker.
Crazy.
It's like if we had just done that, even if he wasn't as good as he's been with the Bucs with us, he'd still be better, and we'd be in a better spot. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you guys should do, and I was actually double checking this player was still on the roster first. Assuming that you ride not Baker Mayfield, obviously, Deshaun Watson until like the wheels fall off, and you guys
Jameis.
end up like, what?
Jameis.
No, not even Jameis. That's
DTR?
the conventional thought. If the Browns are like 2-9 or 2-8 at some point in the season,
Don't even say that.
Don't even.
you have to give Dorian Thompson Robinson just like a full run
I
and
think
just see
you
what
take
happens.
Watson out before that happens.
I'd rather
No,
give the ball to Winston personally.
Winston's like low key solid.
No,
Winston is
Winston's
looking solid.
Winston's completely fine. What I'm more saying is if the Browns get mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, fuck it. Put in Dorian Thompson Robinson, see what you have there, and just give him some run.
If we look this bad offensively for the next couple games, I'd rather put in Jameis. I mean, look at how good we were at the end of the year with Flacco last year. I'm sure Jameis could do that.
Mhm.
Oh, of course. Jameis Winston, 5 plays out of an entire NFL game, looks like the best quarterback in the entire league. And 10 plays, you wonder how the fuck he even got on his like a varsity team. He is the literal definition of boomer bust. You will. I'm not a Bucks fan at all, but Jameis Winston is the epitome of fuck it. It's going somewhere. Good luck, everyone.
And I know he got LASIK. I think when he was with New Orleans.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to the Saints last year. I don't know if he really started much. But if he's given a real shot after LASIK, how he could perform.
I don't think Jameis played last year, but I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
Crazy to me that he was playing with like busted eyeballs. Like
Dude,
that's
he
nuts.
won a Heisman and a national championship, but like not being able to see.
Exactly. Like that's crazy.
Crazy.
So
No.
Jameis played. He didn't start a game last year. 25 for 47, 264, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. In 2022, he started 3 games, 73 for 115, 858 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 5 picks. Going back to 2021, when Drew Brees was hurt, or Teddy Bridgewater, whatever it was, Jameis went 5-2. Jameis went 5-2, 95 attempts or 95 completions, 161 attempts, 100 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 3 picks. So like there is something there, but his last time being very good was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He's been sitting for a while, so I don't know.
Granted, the team that we would have around him would be better than what they had in New Orleans with, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, Nick Chubb once he's back. I trust that more than banged up Michael Thomas.
Such a homer take.
I don't even think Michael Thomas played in 2021. I'm actually checking right
I think
now.
that was his last healthy season.
Michael Thomas like 6 years ago.
No, so Kai, he wasn't even playing at that point. So
Really?
it was his leading reception. I'll pull up my screen. This is not shocking at all to me, but Jameis's most completed player or like most completed attempts was Kamara in 2021.
That receiving core is poverty.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Kai, you cannot claim that was a homer take after looking at
It was
that.
a little homer, but it was probably true.
I'll give Trevor Simeon some credit too. 6 games, went 0-4, fine, but 11 touchdowns, 3 picks, not bad.
Northwestern alum.
I will say real quick, I will never forget Jameis's last pass for the Bucks was a pick 6 in overtime against the Falcons to lose the game and get to 30 touchdowns. 30 interceptions.
That's an all-time moment.
When did Michael Thomas last play? 2020? 2023. He played last year.
He played like 2 games. He
Yeah,
coached
he
the
did.
Falcons, then got hurt again.
So yeah,
No,
2021 he was out for the entire year, and then he's been basically irrelevant since 2019. Jesus,
He played a decent amount of last year. It was just buns.
Yeah.
Wait, he got Offensive Player of the Year?
Dude, he
Yeah,
was
dude.
insane that one.
Yeah.
He led the league in receptions.
Yeah, and yards.
I think that's all time actually receptions.
No, someone got 150, I think.
Hang on.
I thought AB broke that, but I guess not. Dude, even your computer's freezing. What's up?
Yeah.
Weird. It is Michael Thomas though.
Oh wow.
Cup.
Over Cooper Cup, that's racially
Cup's
motivated.
resurgence is making my fantasy team look real good week 1.
Kai, I heard that.
For what?
No one else might have, but I did.
No, I heard it.
Kai, he's a very scrappy player. Be nice.
It's kind of crazy how 5 of those 6 or 7 or whatever, or in the last like couple years, and then Marvin Harrison's just up there.
I mean,
Yeah.
the argument against that is like 17 games for Cooper Cup. Maybe not Cooper Cup.
Well, I was
but-
more so saying in Marvin Harrison's.
I say it
favor.
makes
That's
Marv
crazy.
more impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, it does, 100%, dude. One of the most impressive seasons ever is Dan Marino's in the fucking 90s.
For sure.
So we're going down this rabbit hole. Might as well. Like, we're already here.
It's just funny, like not having your camera on and you're just like a robot doing this.
I know. It was 84. I'm sorry. It was the second year. 5,000 passing yards, 48 touchdowns, 17 picks, MVP, All Pro. Like
Those numbers in 84 are absolutely mental.
yeah.
Damn, how did he win MVP with that next season? That's not even that good.
Because that's probably more down to earth of like what was expected of QBs in the 80s.
Yeah, but then 47 the next year.
Yeah, he did
44.
way better the next season, got third.
Yeah, who
All
won
right.
MVP that year?
I'll tell you right now. Oh, it was LT. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Okay.
that's kind of weird. You don't see that anymore. I guess he almost broke the sack record, I think, but
LT, I believe, is the last defensive player to win MVP.
Yeah.
he has to be.
Um,
We're really going down a rabbit hole right
we
now.
are. Hang on.
Did he win MVP multiple times, or am I tripping? Did it just say that?
I don't.
I'll tell you in a second.
I don't-
Alan Page and Lawrence Taylor. So yeah, it's just him and someone else.
Can you go back to that? He won. Oh, no, never mind. I'm tripping.
Just a whole bunch of DPOIs.
Yeah. I mean, the last one who won it in college, I know, was Charles Woods, and he won the Heisman.
Damn, he won Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie.
Yeah, dude, LT was obviously very, very different. Jesus Christ. I don't know where Watt ended up finishing. I think he was like second or third, like one of his like peak years.
Yeah.
Watt had one of the
He also
craziest
caught like
runs.
3 touchdowns, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. We're in the rabbit hole now, but this is just how it kind of goes sometimes. He was second in 2014. Yeah.
Mm.
That stretch, those 4 years were so insane out of JJ.
Wow. The market where he finished
Rodgers also
third?
led in like every single statistical category.
Yeah. I mean, JJ Watt was obviously.
Was that DeMarco Murray's like GOAT year?
DeMarco Murray was third in MVP.
Oh,
My
that wasn't
God.
even his GOAT year though.
No, it was
Nah, he had a GOAT year with the Titans, didn't he?
not. I mean, not
Oh,
really.
never mind. That was his GOAT year.
I thought Murray played longer. I mean, 7 years is
7 years is
pretty-
not that much.
Yeah, he was
So
very
that's
good.
the average lifespan of a running back now.
I think the average is like 4.
Well, I guess like a decent running back.
Yeah. All right, more rabbit hole. Chris Johnson, how long did you play for? You were kind of around for a
While you're
while.
looking that up, I have to say to Liam, in order to be invited back on this podcast, you have to watch it, considering you told us to our face you don't watch the podcast.
Fair
That
enough.
is
I
true.
will watch.
Liam,
That's
is this your first time on the podcast?
No, it's my second.
That's what I
Second.
thought. So you've been on twice and you still don't listen.
He said he
I
only
just-
listened to his own episode.
Yeah.
he is quite vain for that.
I just
That's funny.
I'm not
This
a
might be the
podcast
one
guy.
episode I don't listen to.
You don't want to hear yourself talk back for an hour?
Yeah, I don't know if I do. You guys listen to your own episodes?
I have to because I edit them, but like,
I only listen when I don't make the like when I'm away or something, and it's Dave.
yeah,
Yeah.
for editing purposes, I listen to the episodes, but like when they go live, I just put them on mute and like have the runtime go because like that just makes sense.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
I did a podcast just on sports with a friend of mine for like, I don't know, 3/4 of a year. It was just me and him, and I never listened to them. I was like, I don't want to hear us just talk for an hour. That's so stupid.
No, I agree
listened
with
back-
you.
I listened back to my first one just to make sure I didn't say anything really stupid.
I say a lot of things stupid all the time. Come on, man, it's fun.
Okay, really quick, analyzing this board here. How did Chris Johnson get MVP votes his rookie year, but not his second year?
I was thinking the same thing actually. All
That
right,
makes literally no sense.
rabbit hole time.
Rabbit hole time now. We've been in the rabbit hole.
We're going deeper. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Phil Rivers, Brett Favre. Huh.
Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense.
How
Offensive
many
player of
years?
the year
How
was
many years did Eli Manning get MVP votes?
Eli Manning? Probably none.
Probably literally never.
Exactly.
Why does it have the receiving stats?
1 second. Hang on. We're going to check this real quick.
Don't ask
Probably
dumb
just always
questions,
says
Liam.
Liam.
We're closing this rabbit hole first. Literally never. Fucking goddamn it, Eli.
That's what I thought.
Cool. All right, back to
Those
2009.
awards are crazy. He's just like a 4-time Pro Bowler. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's worse than Matt Ryan.
He's not.
No,
a
Kai, it doesn't matter. Eli's making the Hall of Fame because of the Super
He's
Bowl.
still worse.
It doesn't matter who was better or worse.
I think it does personally.
I do
No
too.
shit.
I'm with Kai. He shouldn't make the Hall of Fame.
Dude,
He
you
will.
put Matt Ryan on the prime Giants teams, and they win like 10 Super Bowls.
That's okay. You're
Matt Ryan has had one top
What a
25
homer
defense his
take.
entire career.
okay.
Homer take.
Here's the funny thing about it, Kai. It doesn't actually matter. In the history of the NFL, you can't tell the story of it without Eli Manning or Nick Foles,
He just
theoretically.
put 2 seasons.
Wait, but you're not saying Nick Foles should go in the
No,
Hall
no,
of
no.
Fame, right?
I was not going to say Nick Foles is a Hall of Famer, but what I would say, if Nick Foles had his peak year, like where the Eagles where he went 24-2, like touchdowns and interceptions, but he was able to do that for like a longer period of time, like
Well,
6, 7,
Dude,
8
you've been the
years.
GOAT. What do you mean?
Yeah, right.
No, now what I just said.
That's
If he was
literally
able
what you
to,
just said. You said if he did that multiple times, he would have been a Hall of Famer. Like, no shit.
if he was able to play up to that level, which is kind of like an Aaron Rodgers type, yes. But 1 year does not define a player, Kai.
Top 5 quarterback of all time? Yeah, really.
You're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
The
point still
think
is-
so.
The point of what I'm trying to say, Kai, is Matt Ryan is closer to Phil Rivers, who is not a Hall of Famer, than he is to Big Ben and Eli Manning, who are Hall of Famers.
Disagree.
That's fine. We'll know in a couple years.
I think Big Ben's ahead of both, to be fair.
No shit. Big Ben will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Eli Manning has no shot of being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like a huge Eli Manning hater. I think he's got a shot.
Why do
No.
you hate him?
Not as a person. I just don't think he's a Hall of Famer.
It's just such a random, like, hot take you are, like, going to die on.
Eli
Oh,
Manning
we've had
can
this
top
argument
line
so many
once.
times.
He's
Well, yeah,
he shouldn't
Liam,
be
you
in the Hall
probably
of
thought Jim Brown was good.
Whoa.
That's racially motivated.
Whoa.
Whoa. Should have seen the DMs I was getting from Dave earlier.
Oh, fuck you.
I can pull them up if we want.
How about we don't? I don't need receipts. I don't need to get in trouble. I can do that myself. Such as with this segue into the 2 shows we were talking about before, Culture Collision and Minnesota. We're gonna go into that real quick. So what I have on screen right now is the current map for Culture Collision. I'm gonna give them a chance. I'm gonna update this real quick, just in case in the 20 minutes, 30 minutes since we prepped it. Hey, has anything changed?
If anything, there's probably less tables taken.
Fair enough.
People
Blue
refund.
is vendor tables that are normal. Green is more of a premium table. Okay, everyone understand that so far?
Yes.
Let's look at the map. Keep in mind, this is Tuesday at 5:45 p.m.
Is this a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday?
This is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. All that
I
blue,
think it's Thursday, is it not?
it's not Thursday
Oh.
because I have the website open too, and it starts at Friday.
That's legitimately almost half of the venue that's not sold.
All of this blue here, and I made it a little bit larger so people could see, so forgive me. All of this blue here is open space and a green spot, so that's a premium location. That is all available. A lot of the open on the left-hand side of the first part is sold, obviously, but all of that secondary information here, all that secondary like booth area, completely basically empty. This entire section right here, guys, 3 tables have sold. 3 in this entire row.
That's insane. I can't imagine walking around that place. Be dead.
It's
Great
72 hours until the show. Yeah,
I wonder how much money they're going to lose.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either that or if
here's-
they're gonna sell tables for cheaper, well, to people that are already there.
Exactly. Would you go if they
Here-
gave you one for free?
Here's comparison to Minnesota. I want it to be fair because they happen the same weekend. Green is front row tables. There's a couple green spots open. Yellow is a premium table for 8 foot. So a couple open over here. But not much. There's not much.
I mean,
It's
it's
really,
basically sold out, I would say.
I would say Minnesota show is about 90% sold out. There's an open
Does it say
table.
how
here.
many tables are at each?
Yeah.
I'd have to double check.
I mean, rough
let's see
guess,
that-
I would think Atlanta's probably like 25% bigger.
Oh, actually, I think it's at 450. I'm gonna go
Oh, you know
back.
what? No, Minnesota's definitely bigger than, right?
Over 450 tables.
I can't
In
imagine
Minnesota.
that room in Atlanta has that many tables.
Kai, have you
Um,
been to Culture
I've been
Collision?
to I've been to Atlanta
Mm.
twice, I think. I mean,
Here's
it's a solid show, but I just don't think this one's gonna be good.
here's the funny thing too. Minnesota has a Thursday night,
Mm.
so could people theoretically go to Minnesota and then to Atlanta? I guess that might happen.
If you do that, you're a sick fuck.
You know.
Minnesota
Culture,
has signers too, which is good.
does it? Oh, they
You
have.
have like your local farmer.
I was gonna say none of that.
The autograph guess. I'm just
Who
curious.
are these people?
You don't know who Rudy is?
Oh, Rudy's kind
No,
of cool.
okay, well, I know who that is. I was referring to the other 4 people I've never heard of.
Suki and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Dude, she's charging $100 for a selfie and an autograph.
Fair enough. Selfie's
That-
30 bucks.
There's got to be something wrong with her.
Oh, this is Mai from Avatar: The Last Airbender. All right, cool.
Was
Like,
Avatar like set in Minnesota
Yeah,
or something?
seriously.
yeah, Kai, you didn't know that, dude. Yeah, Aang's actually a Vikings fan. Fun fact, dude. Sokka's a Packers fan. Everyone fucking hates him. Yeah, some
Speaking
old
of the
Free
Vikings-
signers is nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Speaking of the Vikings, is this the Sam Darnold resurgence?
I would say that he is definitely playing well through one game, but he also played the Giants, so who cares what that means? I don't know if Atlanta actually has autograph signers.
Does it say how many tables anywhere?
I'm looking for that right now.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Maybe Command F it or go to About Us. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that in a second. Just checking. Also, I know this before. Their sponsors are Monster, cool. Zion Case, cool. Veriswap, cool. Looks like a local brewery. I don't know who Gem Mint Collectibles is, and Prism God runs the show, so that's not really a sponsor. Like that is you. So I called that out before, and I think that's kind of funny.
Monster could be a cool one though.
No, dude, that's awesome. I'm not knocking that. I'm knocking the fact that I think it's vaguely funny that you are a sponsor of your own show. I mean, yeah, you are, but what does that mean? 500 tables, 72,000 square feet. So Minnesota is
50 tables smaller.
50 tables smaller, but a third of the square footage, and cheaper.
Minnesota or Atlanta?
Minnesota.
Minnesota is a smaller show, but a larger venue.
What? Oh, because I guess they use the basketball courts and shit.
Yeah, I've not heard a single thing about the 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
I mean, if you can't even have enough people showing up to sell cards, I don't think you have enough people for a basketball tournament.
I would be
Hang on.
pissed if I had paid to fly down to that show, pay for the ticket, walk around, and half.
$1,000 to play. What? I guess it's a cash reward.
Wait, per person or team?
No, per team.
It has to be per team.
That is nuts.
Second annual. Ask for it, bring it back.
How many teams? join?
Everyone who signs up and participates will be drafted. So everyone who signs up has to play. $5,000 cash prize and one player chained as MVP. The winning team will be allowed to enter the pool for the Card Show All-Star Game 2024. You guys ready for that?
Like, I'm gonna go to the one in the spring 'cause it's really good for Roman Chrome, but this is like pathetic.
Do they have showers or something, or do you just like go from sweating?
No, you just
That's a good
kind of
question.
you just kind of play in the game and then walk around.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a hotel. Like, there's showers.
What if you're not staying there? Like,
You're just
Get fucked.
that's gross. I can't imagine having somebody have just like walked straight off the basketball court and then try to sell me cards, or there's just
comes up yelling at you for kabooms.
Yeah, no, this feels like an event that would, like, the cash prize would be covered by the sponsor, not by the cost of entry.
I mean, if Monster's sponsoring it, I have to imagine they're on the basketball court. That alone could be the entire cost of the prize money.
Right. Buying Kaboom's downtown's case hits 80%.
What's weird, and I've called this out when I actually attended the show once. Friday's the first game, Saturday's the second game, and then the championship. But like, humor me. If you're attending this card show and you want to play the basketball game, perfectly fine. Makes sense. You know what? That's cool. Whatever. You want to play with your homies, go for it. But why are you doing this during the show?
Yeah.
Like,
So it does
Go
look
for it.
like there are autograph guests. I don't know if you can click on those to see who they are, but
nope. I don't know who they are.
I will say they do look like they've intentionally scheduled it for later on in the show so that you could
No,
like, play and leave.
And you know what? That's awesome. I like that a lot. I'm not knocking that. I'm just asking critically. If a show is struggling to get vendors in right now, fine, whatever, no big deal. But you're pulling vendors off the tables who are most likely to be vendors who are going to the show.
I was gonna say the main signer himself is Prism God.
That's pretty kind of good joke.
Only $300.
Well, how much for a selfie?
6.
Oh shit! I can get 5 selfies with the girl from Avatar,
yeah.
wherever she is. This one.
Do you think she charges an extra $100 if you like click your button twice? It's like per photo.
This one. That's really funny. Anyway, this is a show that's obviously having a little trouble with vendors, whatever. People who are going to sign up for the basketball tournament, I imagine, are vendors. Most likely going to be vendors, if not some of them, all of them, whatever. If you're pulling vendors off the floor to go play basketball, you also probably have their friends go and watch them too, unless they're just shitty people who have no friends. So, for 3 days, halfway through the show, a show that's going to be kind of empty is going to have a crowd forming for basketball and vendors playing in it. So you're hurting your own show. I think, if you're willing to do this and you want to do the basketball tournament, that's your thing. Why not just have the show end an hour earlier and say, hey, vendors, if you're playing the tournament, please come here at 6:15. Let's run it back and we'll play, 21 or whatever they're playing to, and do it like that. And if they really, really want to be there, then they're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit in terms of like, oh, hey, the championship you're in it is at 3 p.m. If your flight is at 5, well, get an alternate or whatever. Like to do it during the middle of the show is kind of weird.
Yeah, same thing. I understand having panels at shows and stuff like that, but like, do people really like go to them?
I don't know. I don't even know who the autograph. I'm trying to figure out who the autograph guest is.
I'd rather take a nap.
Because like, I know at Fanatics Fest they had really good panels, and obviously people went to go see, Tom Brady and Stephen A. Smith talk, but
guys, we're live from Atlanta. Shout out.
That's crazy.
What happened to him? Does anyone know?
He fucking vanished, dude.
He's just gone.
He's just gone.
It's okay. The legend of Investicard will never die.
It can't.
That's crazy. The website's so outdated. He is literally on there.
I wouldn't say that's outdated. I mean, that's a good picture of Raphael. If I can go back to it. That's a good picture. There's King of Cards, Raphael, Ryan, and Eddie. I mean, I guess you could crop it. Be kind of funny at that point.
So funny.
It's a good picture of them. I will give him credit. That's a good picture too. I think that's Lamar.
Yeah.
So, like, let me be nice for a second. This is probably the best website for a card show out there. I'll be very nice about that.
Well, yeah, there's plenty to like poke fun at. I mean, it's not the worst show in the world.
No, I'm not.
Solid.
I'm not poking fun at Prism God. I'm not poking fun at like what he's doing. I'm more poking fun, unfortunately, at the fact that it is at the end of a long show cycle. Yeah. Everyone's tired, and you know what, dude? Like, just we're all burnt out, and that's not making fun of you. It's more of like, bro, come on. Like, if this was a week or two later, I think it'd be a little bit different. You're also competing with a show that's frankly in a better spot, it sounds like, from what we're seeing. Like, this is a real card show. Culture Collision is screwed, right? Culture Collision is an experience, and that's fine. But people who do this, who want to do this full time and travel for shows, aren't interested in the sole sneaker excitement or 3-on-3 hoops. They want to go and sell and trade sports cards.
I will
Yeah, and,
say,
like-
sorry, real quick. I just wonder if this might be a suggestion. I wonder if they try to go away from maybe the culture collision part. I mean, I've been there twice. I really have not seen more than like 3 or 4 people selling anything other than cards. I don't know if it's worth like keeping up the game that it's like also a shoe thing. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I also
Like,
I can't figure out who's the autograph signers here. So maybe that's been
Might be
changed.
on
Maybe
Instagram or something.
I don't think they
Yeah.
do autographs, do they?
I mean, on the
Yeah, it's
schedule,
on
it
the
said there
schedule.
was.
Oh,
they have 5 autograph guests.
oh,
at
that's
least.
weird. I don't know where they would do that at.
I don't know. I mean, if I look at the map again,
Because you've
Okay.
been there. I mean, it's just one room.
let's see this. This is passes.
And like personally, I haven't seen much marketing for either of these shows. And like as
No.
a promoter, I feel like, obviously both shows have open tables. Giving away tables to, dealers who can promote your show, for free, in exchange for promotion. But also I'm a big fan of having grading companies at shows, whether it's SGC, Beckett, PSA, because their outreach is also really big. If they send it out in a newsletter, if PSA puts it in their magazine or on their Instagram. And also taking, they might not take on-site submissions, but take home, definitely could be something useful.
I don't think they do. I don't think they're doing autographs because this timing is different.
Yeah, and I
than-
can't find anyone either.
Weird. I don't know. All right, whatever. Not a
I
big
looked
deal.
on socials real fast too. I didn't see anything.
All right. I mean, once again, not a big deal. I imagine if they're doing a panel, it's probably on either like this front wall to the left or here, the music zone, I guess. There's a stage back here. That's got to be annoying, dude. If you're a vendor on this wall and like you have a panel going on, everyone's gonna be crowding around you but not looking at your cards. That's gonna be mad annoying. Assuming that's where it's done.
But also being like right next to a DJ booth definitely does not sound enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends how loud it is.
Yeah, because I
Also, is it
understand
like
having
club
music at
music or is
shows.
it just music?
understand having music at shows, but also like it can't be too loud because you need to be able to hear the the person that you're talking to.
The
Dude,
first
I gave-
one was, I was gonna say the first one was very loud. They've kind of toned it down since then, though. I think.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too.
There was
I
someone
gave
at the... Oh, sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
no go. I was gonna say I gave the National a note about that too. Like if it's gonna be loud, I want it to be like industrial fans, not like club music going on.
Mhm.
Like move the air around so it doesn't smell. Go for it.
Please. There was someone at the Dallas lobby this weekend, like playing club music on Friday night. It was so weird.
Oh yeah, Dallas was empty on Friday and Saturday.
Trade nights were non-existent this show. We didn't really chat about that.
People
but
were
they-
probably just cooked. I mean, they also did the show all day. I think people were just kind of wanted to sleep.
What I don't understand is the vendors who go all day and then bring literally their physical showcases out of the room to put them on a table for trade night. Drives me
Yeah.
crazy.
They have to hashtag grind, dude. What are you talking about?
I also heard a lot of dealers complaining about trade nights, though, that it was, obviously on, what was it, Friday, the shows goes until 8, and on Saturday it goes until 6. Somebody who I was around on Sunday was really upset with trade nights because it took away from the show, and he goes, I do my best business from 4 to 6 on Saturday, and it's like, I completely understand that, but you also have to look at it from the consumer perspective. They see everything in the show within the first day or two of being there, and it's it just gives another opportunity for people to transact because a lot of people are not paying dealer pricing at this point. It allows people to interact with people, make new connections, but also buy cards at reasonable prices.
And just
Yeah, I
see
mean,
more
listen.
cards.
Listen, like the power of a dealer has definitely shifted in the last couple of years to being where if you're able to walk around, you have cash and you can buy certain percentages, you probably have more power than the dealer. What I will say though is something that I think is a great idea for all shows, and I'm gonna share this snippet that I gave to the National. I think this is something that all shows should do in the future. when you sign up for a show or a vendor or as a location, whatever, you should be able to note, hey, I'm going to be attending Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and skipping Sunday. If you do that, no big deal. What you should do then is you should gather all those dealers who have already waived out of being there on either Thursday, let's say, or Sunday or whatever else. You know what you should do? You should have kids be able to sign up either through their parents' permission or whatever else and match up a dealer with a younger generation kid, like 12, 13, 14 years old. And the show should allow those people to set up and communicate together and start to teach next generation, quote unquote, on how to be a dealer.
Mm-hmm.
I dig that.
Yeah. It's like a very simple way to fix a problem, quote unquote. If the show is empty, fine. Let like that empty thing be like a good learning experience for the next generation. And then you also like organically build something positive online on social media. Like, hey, you know, Kai's not going to be here on Sunday, but we connected Kai with Connor, and Connor's a 14-year-old from Dallas, Texas, who has first card show, and he's all set up and ready to go. And like, we'll give him like a Zion case as well to sponsor it, and like, it's all like feel good things.
I ain't doing all that, Dave.
But like, also,
I know I hate children, but whatever.
No, that's actually a really good idea. I would support that, Dave.
On Sunday at the show, half the dealer tables were empty, and the showcases were already rented. Like, they were already out there. Anybody could come in and take them. Why not have a kid take it? And, you know, some kids have really good cards, and, you know, it also gives them the opportunity to display their cards, and also other kids are running around that day too. So
yeah.
Caveat, does that lead to the problem of then adults / other people using their kid to get national table space?
Sure, on Sunday.
Still, I mean, you could get $1,000 for a showcase for Saturday or Sunday last year. I mean, probably.
I don't know. Sure. I mean, like, there's obviously ways to manipulate that, but
just playing devil's advocate.
If the table's going to be empty anyway, then you have to fill out the waiver.
Fair.
You know
I also
mean?
think you need to maybe add like an extra, like, more security that day, because, you know, obviously with kids setting up, it's another thing to keep track of. But
What do you mean? You don't like having no security when there's literally like millions of dollars in cash walking around the room?
No, it's because Liam likes to be the one doing the stealing.
stop it.
Liam, where were you in Dallas on July 4th weekend?
I was in Beechwood, Ohio.
That's what I would say too.
Well, likely story.
I
Liam.
wasn't near him, so I can't corroborate that.
Listen, how'd you get that house, Liam?
I was gonna say, how'd you get that mansion?
Notice how he's quiet? He's not saying a thing.
Yeah, he's got no good answer.
I think I just got in business with a thief.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, not
has
for nothing,
anything has anything happened with that?
You'd
No.
love to know, wouldn't you?
I talked with Ashish.
Got him.
I was with Ashish this weekend, and, you know, nobody really talked about it at all.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Were you gonna bring up the dude that he lost like $2 million?
No, but like, just as a
How are all your
conversation
missing cards going?
as a conversation in general, like, I feel like I haven't seen anything happen with that recently.
Because nothing's happened, dude. Those
Dude,
cards are
I
gone.
feel like that would just make him like sad. Like, what are you gonna do? Be like,
I
darn,
wasn't saying
that's
bring it
tough.
up to Ashish, but just like with other people.
Come on, nerds.
I think.
Now-
I mean, you could tell the first day there was definitely more security there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got stopped
Dallas-
for not having my badge with me, except then I just walked around to the other entrance and there was no one at that one. So they're getting better at least.
Dallas has changed their security every single time I've been there. And it's gotten better and worse in certain ways. I will say that there's a lot more police than usual, which is great. I want to see that. But it's ironically the wild west when it comes to like getting into that show and how to handle things, because they kind of just do it at their own pace. And you just got to kind of play by the rules. I would say the best security for a show is probably Burbank. Burbank, especially in Orange County at the Ontario Convention Center. Like, you have to go through like a metal detector and stuff. Like, just the bare minimum of like stadium security is the best. Is the best in card shows.
Yeah.
I feel like Burbank just is the best run show. that exists.
It is. I mean, if Burbank happened more often or was one time a year, it would be the best show in the country. But it's also like not fair to compare. Like, there's like what 18 days of Dallas Card Show or 17 days of Dallas Card Show because it's 6 times a year.
Yeah.
Like that is the best show in the country if you look at all the days because there's so many days of making deals.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't really know. I think that the National will be turning things around in the near future, from what I'm hearing, and it will take its place hopefully as number one. But you know what? People are nipping at it, and that's good for everyone overall.
I'll say it's forcing change and innovation, which is real nice.
Yeah, listen, they're willing to hear me out, which is great.
Good.
They have ownership, right?
What's that?
Don't they have new ownership?
They do have new ownership, yeah.
So, and it's in Chicago for the foreseeable future, which is good for the show.
It is in Chicago for the next 3 years.
Can they figure out the AC though, please?
Oh.
What'd you say?
I just want them to have air conditioning in Chicago because that was
that they believe they've already outgrown Chicago, and you know what? Frankly, they're probably right. But they are locked into 3 years, and then they're going to give vendors new voting opportunities on location soon.
Liam, are you thinking about buying the entity with your newfound wealth?
No, but I would. It would be interesting. I haven't met the guy who runs the National now, but it definitely still feels like an old school show.
Well, yeah, he's the guy with like 6 cards in an entire booth.
Oh, it's PSA Al?
Yes. So I have been talking to Al pretty regularly since the National.
Can you tell him to take one table because that's all the cards he has? Sorry.
Yeah, he has like
he is taking one booth. Yes.
Oh,
Well, the
cool.
one
he's
booth
al-
for the
he's-
Nationals 4 tables, isn't it?
Yeah, he's always had
3.
one. It seems like
3. Yeah.
like 2 showcases on each with like 4 cards in each showcase.
So yes, he's reducing his booth size from 2 to 1. I actually did ask him about that, and he mentioned that the optics of that didn't look good, which is absolutely right. But he had also sold X amount of cards and did X amount of business over those days, and that was taken out of context on Saturday. Whatever he's gonna say, I'm not here to defend him. I'm just conveying that information.
I'm glad the optics didn't look good after like 12 years.
Yeah, right. I've seen him set up at multiple shows, and I've never seen him have more than 4 to 6 cards in a showcase.
Either way, I think that he realized. I think he realized this year, especially.
Al's got a gun to Dave's head right now. That's why he's the camera off.
Guys, I can't turn on my camera. No, I think that from the conversation I've had with him, he's actually like very, very nice person.
Well,
Cards aside, very nice human being. I really like him. He's actually super pleasant to talk to, and I'm trying to help them gradually get into the 21st century when it comes to like online marketing.
Yeah.
And he has been incredibly receptive to that. Now, could I speak to the dealer side and everything else? No, I'm not gonna say anything about that.
I mean,
But
to be fair, I'd be that nice if I had that level of wealth as well.
good. Yeah, I mean, listen, like he seems to get the like they need to make changes, and they reached out to a bunch of dealers who were negative towards the show and directly were not happy. The fact they reached out to me is really impressive. I was really fucking negative about the National. And guess what? Like, it's working. If I can make it 1% better, dude, I'm happy. That's all I want. I just want a better show for everyone.
Are you gonna tell him to let people set up with their friends?
Yes. That is a sticking point, not because of him, but because of the rationale being that dealers have been signing up for years and years and years, let's say, and they feel like those who are setting up with their friends are cutting the line, which is a fair point, fair enough, but there's going to be efforts on their end to kind of ease that tension point. Everything else has kind of been like really critically considered, but like that's one that like might not fly over so well with everyone else.
Dealer.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of dealers don't even have like enough stuff for a full booth.
Yeah, no, that's probably the majority of dealers.
And you're also keeping out a lot of good dealers.
Yes.
What about, has there been any talk about dealer screening?
What was the question? I didn't hear you.
Has there been any talk about like dealer screening? Sort of
Oh,
like Burbank.
I mentioned that to him that when dealers sign up, there should be like not a pamphlet, but like, hey, I'm a low end dealer. Hey, I memorabilia. Hey, I do vintage. Hey, I do high end. Hey, I do low end. I get and understand that the National should appeal to everyone and everything and all kinds of collectibles, and that's fine. So I think you group them accordingly, and you have their location in the show based on their quote unquote tier. If you're a memorabilia level dealer, that's fine. You're going to be in tables 1 to 100. If you're low end, awesome. Not a problem at all. We're going to put you guys in the 200 to 300. If you're vintage, 300 to 500. Modern high end dealers, 600 to 1,000. Like that way, it's like organized in a way where it's not like Joe Schmo is next to Flawless Gems, next to a kid doing a trade up challenge, next to Kai, next to Liam, next to me, but then also next to dirty memorabilia that hasn't sold since 1941. Like, there's a organization to it at least.
Yeah, and like I feel like this year we really saw it at the National, where there were certain tables that there was, levels of people that you had to look over their shoulders and stuff like that. Right next to a table that probably had 5 people at their table the entire week.
Yep. No, the table directly behind me at National, Liam, had Leaf cards on the table.
This is the Leaf booth.
Yeah, the Leaf table there with cards, not even top loaders. That genuinely, the table itself was worth more than all the cards.
Yeah, it's the people that, I don't know if it's Leaf themselves. It's the ones that have like 150 of the same card, not even sleeved, like stacked on the entire table.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough look.
And I bet some of the tables that had 3 rows of people, I bet that, it's kind of annoying to other dealers that didn't, because they probably thought that like they were standing in their space and,
Yeah, I mean there's definitely some opportunities there, and whether or not the feedback I give can help in 2025, I can tell you for a fact in 2026, a lot of the things I'm able to suggest will be much more considered because they've already done the map for 2025,
right?
Which is crazy. There's 11 months to the National, and they're planning this ahead. Meanwhile, like Fanatics Fest, Orlando is a month and a half away, and there's a lot of information that I'm getting asked questions about Fanatics Fest. Like, I don't work for Fanatics. I would work for them in marketing, but I don't work there right now. I'm getting asked directly the questions. It's really kind of funny.
Yeah, and like with Fanatics Fest, I don't know if they ever even released anything on what happened with Pittsburgh.
It got canceled.
But like,
why?
I didn't see anything about it.
Gosh, Lynn, good questions. I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't.
Wait, but don't you work for Fanatics?
I would like to, but I don't.
Would you?
I would work. Yeah, 100%. I'd work for Fanatics. I would love to work with EJ in either dealer relations or marketing, because I frankly think that my 9-to-5 job, which I love and I'm good at, really kind of applies in our industry. I just want shit to be good. I just want good card shows with quality dealers, and like knowing that there is a lot of things that can be either changed or tones can be updated or language or just like online presence that can kind of take a lot of shows to the next level. And I think Fanatics could really use that help. I know the National could really use that help. I know that Dallas could really use that help.
Can I comment really quick?
Yeah.
I just going back to your job. I watched you walk through the grocery store while you were working.
Accurate. I work occasionally. Be nice.
Can we go to the we almost left this out.
Yeah.
The downtown situation.
Oh, this is super fun. So we're gonna end off the podcast with this. Kai, thank you for bringing this up. I actually forgot about this. So this was Friday night. Kai, Lucas, Sports Car Mania, his friend Derek, who I don't know if Derek's on Instagram or not.
Locos cards, I think.
Thank you. And myself went to dinner at Brio, which is like the Italian place right across the street from Dallas Card Show. Brio is a chain restaurant. It's pretty good. We went and got ice cream after because we wanted dessert, and we're just hanging out in the lobby at the very, very end of trade night, like towards where like the garage is for cars. We're all just chilling, bullshitting. Like mentally, I turn my brain off. Like, hey, I'm tired. Like, whatever. I'm gonna eat some ice cream, hang out, watch football, and just like chill. Lucas brings over his friend Colin. Colin was very on top of his game. This guy knew his cards better than probably I will know my future children. And he was like, hey, buy these cards. I'm like, what? And like, I was so mentally off my game. I was just not ready to deal with this guy. Lo and behold, I get bullied into buying these downtowns from Kai and Lucas and Derek. And it was like a $6,000 deal. So I went and got my cash. Lucas had to give me a little bit of cash because I didn't have physical cash on me. And I sold the cards 20 minutes later for $150 in profit. But it was very funny. I was getting harassed by my friends to buy downtowns and kabooms from a guy who knew more about his cards than I did. I fucking mistyped.
He was cracked
card ladder.
out. It was,
I
it was so
was
funny.
rattled. I was fully 100% rattled because I was just not ready for this.
He had you rattled, bro. You were spitting out like wrong numbers and stuff. Like
Yeah.
he had you off your game.
100% off my game. Will openly admit that. I was just not about this. But I made money in the end, so I guess it all worked out for everyone. Kai and Lucas and Derek got to laugh at me. This guy made money. I made money. But yeah, I was just not about it. And I was very annoyed at my friends. But hey, it all worked out.
Do you want to end it real quick? We can all talk about our favorite pickup from the show.
Yeah, all right, fine. Kai, you want to go first?
I want to go last. I have no idea.
All right, Josh, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. My favorite pickup was one that Liam and I split on. It's a DeMarcus Ware game used NFL shield, equipment shield at I think it's National Treasures. It's super cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that one. That's gonna be in our business PC for a little bit, but I'd probably say the Walter Payton game used Letterman or the Hank Aaron 2018 Dynasty Milwaukee Braves patch auto.
Sick. Mine.
Oh, should we have held them up?
You good?
Me? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, I was trying to see what I had. Mine was a 2019 Flawless Football. It was a white box, but it's the 100th year NFL gold auto of Drew Brees.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
I
a
grabbed
badass.
mine. That's why I was off camera. But for those not watching it, it's
I think
a
it's sweet.
Dirk, Jason Kidd, Vince Carter, triple immaculate gold auto out of 10.
There you go.
Nice pickup.
Shout out Trent.
Shout out Trent for making us a living wage.
It's true. That literally was my pickup was from Trent as well. That was before the show. I was in Trent's room making deals with him at like
Keep down
Tuesday.
the DL.
Like what?
I said keep down the DL.
No. Fine. They're making deals before the show. And maybe holding hands. I can't say. Anyway, that's all I got for this week, guys. Maybe next week my internet will work better. I can't say.
Well, thanks for
Yeah,
having
my-
us on, y'all. It was super fun.
Dude, this is awesome. Thank you guys for joining. And I'm
Appreciate
sure that we will all get a cease and desist letter from some card showrunners or showrunners in the near future. So this is my last episode. Oops. Had a good run. Bye.